Okay. Anyways, yeah. So I have fiber internet now, which is exciting.
Oh,
I know,
huge.
I know, I know. People
Went
say I
up,
didn't.
twin down. If it shits out the whole, you're
I
fucked.
know. I was gonna say if I do have an issue though, like with disconnections or whatever, it's gonna be my computer. That's another whole thing, you know. But I hope not.
You're on Wi-Fi, are you?
No, no, it's
Okay,
hardwired.
good,
And I
good.
actually had them. It was like 2 rooms away before, and now I have it literally right behind my computer. All of it.
Huge. That's the play.
Hmm.
I have a big 50-foot or 100-foot. I don't remember. I got a big one going from my bedroom, drilled through my floor, wrapping around my living room into my office.
That's what I was doing. I had that exact same thing, but no longer the case.
I love
Now it's
having
now like a
redundancy.
it's like a 6 foot cord right to my PC. So
It's pretty good.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Pretty excited about it. Anyways, Kirby, how are you?
I'm okay.
Oh, just okay.
Mm. I'm a woman of a few words. Cervantes asked me like the same thing, and I pretty much gave like the same type of answer.
How's your internet connection? Good.
uh, yeah, my internet connection is fine.
Oh,
It's
okay.
usually pretty okay.
Good. 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 That must be nice.
How's your internet connection?
Good now. I just said that.
Yeah,
If you were listening, just kidding.
I
Uh,
wasn't. I'm sorry.
anyways, guys, welcome back to GameYap. It's been a while since we recorded because I was having internet issues, but we are back. We should be able to continue this. No more issues. And this is the only gaming
Fifth.
podcast. That's what we're going with. We're the only one.
Oh, you gonna say this is what episode it was? It'll be, yeah, it's the 5th episode.
This is
Clearly,
episode
I
one.
can't finish your sentences yet.
No,
We're
that's
not that
okay.
close
You'll
yet.
get
We're not
there.
at the tongue level yet.
This is episode one or season two, episode one. But
Yeah.
yeah, GameYap. We're here. So there was a bit we've missed. We'll cover a little bit of it, but mostly like there was stuff that happened this week, quite a bit actually, announcements wise. So it's kind of a perfect time to return to this. But we're gonna start off with um experts Xbox backwards compatibility is coming to PC.
And we're doing a new initiative over good friends over at Microsoft. They're doing a new initiative where they're slowly bringing back specific niche cult classic games. They're starting with 4 games right now, and if it's successful, we're probably going to see more. So just being able to play old fan favorites again, pretty good.
Yeah.
It's starting with it looks like just a few titles, 4 titles.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Um Blinks, The Time
Mm-hmm.
Sweeper, Conquer Live and Reloaded, Crimson Skies, High Road to Revenge, and Fusion Frenzy.
You, you
Will
know
be
what's
the first
crazy?
4 games available with it.
I have all 4 of those in that room right behind me right now.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Um,
I love that. I've heard about Crimson Skies a lot.
I it's odd because like that like cover is really nostalgic to me, but I did not like it at all personally playing it.
Really?
Um,
Somebody liked it enough to get it put on that
yeah, yeah.
initiative.
I played it a lot. Like I can specifically remember playing that and one of the Wolfenstein games for the original Xbox, like just back and forth between the two. But Conquer is probably the big one for me. Conquer is
Conquer is
obviously
probably
What's
the one
very
I'm
Conquer?
most
popular.
looking forward to for that list.
My
Everyone's always talking about Banjo Kazooie, but everyone forgot about Conquer.
yeah, my first
Conquer Live and
experience
Reloaded.
with Conquer was on an Xbox demo disc. And I know it was a Nintendo 64 game. I actually went after the Xbox version came out. I went back and got the Nintendo 64 version, but I did not have that growing up. But I remember going over to your friend's house, sometime middle school, like very young, and that game, was perfectly edgy for that like age, So we played that demo disc over and over and over again, and then I got the game. There is Yeah, very good game, very good game. Lots of references like 50 something movies. Just that's all the game is. A lot of references. Very good, very fun, very adult. Um,
Nice.
the multiplayer sucked.
Oh,
That the whole point of like the live and reloaded thing was that they were, kind of really pushing the like multiplayer for it, and it wasn't good. The Nintendo 64 multiplayer was better with worse controls, but much better.
Nintendo 64 had multiplayer? Like
Local.
Not online.
oh, okay. See, alright. Sorry.
It was before the PS2, which I
Yeah.
think was PS2 technically. Like, no,
No, I
I
think
think the
that
Dreamcast was technically like one of the
yeah,
first ones.
Dreamcast had online.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then PS2 with their adapter.
SOCOM had SOCOM was one of the first, right?
And
That's the only
FF11.
real experience I had.
SOCOM had it. The WWE one had it.
Mhm.
Uh, FF11, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was a couple, PSO, I don't think that was they ever on PS2? I don't know, but it was on, obviously
In Japan,
Dreamcast.
probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably true. But it was really the PS3 when internet kind of really took off. That was when like they started really releasing all those like small like $10-15 titles, like Fat Princess, Death Spank, all that. Did you ever play Death Spank? No.
I only had I played like 2 games on my PS3, and one of them was
Um,
All-Star Battle or
I
whatever.
think Death Spank was on multiple things. There was 3 in that series, and I think the third one was not able to use that title, so they had to change it to something else or something like that. Obviously this is a while back, but I remember being completely different and just being like, "Oh, that's weird." But I think they're on Steam. Maybe, maybe like 2 and 3 are on Steam and not 1. I don't remember. There's something weird with that series. I remember, but Fat Princess was good. This was we had like the Pixel Junk games. Those were really
That Princess was put into the PlayStation All-Star Battle or whatever it
yeah.
was called.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
she had 2 games that were on PlayStation Network. And then House Marquee kind of really started with PlayStation Network. They had that zombie game. What was it even called? It was a twin shooter. Was it Dead Nation? Or is that a different game? It may have been Dead Nation. Which obviously they're big now with Returnal and Saros and yeah, follow the
Well,
chain.
before that, it was Resogun. Resogun
Dead
was kind
Nation
of
was before that.
a
Dead
very
Nation was their like
yeah.
big first title.
I
And
feel
I
like
don't I don't
Resogun helped put them on the map,
You know,
really.
you know what's crazy is remember when PlayStation 3 had that like outage and like it was down for like a month or two and they gave
Which
everybody free
time I
games?
feel like it's every week
No, no,
PSN
no,
has an
no, no,
outage.
no. No, this was like an extended period of time. Like it was like 1 or 2 months. Um
Yeah, I do remember. I do recall
and
this.
they
It
gave
was around the
people they
holiday
gave
season.
people free games and I think Dead Nation was one of those, which is what really put like House Marquee on the map because I think I had that game before it was given for free, but I don't think many people played it. And then that happened, and I think that was one of the games they gave for free. I think, and then all of a sudden it was like everybody knew it. So that probably really helped them. I could be completely wrong. That may not have been one of the games, but I remember something like that. Yeah. Anyways, we are in a history where or history in a spot where games are constantly being kind of like online's becoming more and more of a thing. It's not like 10-15 years ago where it was kind of iffy. You kind of had either or. And there are games entirely based on just online interactivity, including Roblox, who's having a lot of
Yeah,
issues right now.
Roblox.
Yeah, Roblox. They're having a lot of issues right now, but
Mm-hmm.
along with that, they're losing players and they are blaming people, well, really fans, for not creating enough engaging games.
Yeah, like not viral enough
Yeah,
content.
which is crazy because, like, I don't know if necessarily like, their word absolutely like grow a garden was huge and stuff like that for Roblox, but I don't know. Does it like is it
Yeah, they
really
want
like
someone
up
to
to them?
just create the next dress to impress. I mean,
I,
at
I
the end of
yeah,
the
I guess
day,
Dress to
they
Is
Impress.
it the
Yeah, I haven't.
fans' fault though? Like we don't
it's
own
it's fans'
Roblox. We
fault.
don't get paid to do this. Like
No,
maybe
you
they
do. No,
should
you do. You do. You
incentivize.
do
Do
get
you?
paid. You do get paid. You
There is a
absolutely get
revenue
paid.
share.
You
There is a
absolutely
I
get
revenue
paid.
share.
see. See, I've
And
never done it, so I don't know.
some people make crazy money. I think the person that made like
Really?
the arena game or whatever, that got like was bitching at people in Fortnite for stealing the idea or whatever, or the pit. That's what it was. I think he was making millions a year, and that's why he was so mad that someone stole it and put it in Fortnite.
The pit? What's that?
I think it's the pit, right? It was like that game where you
Come
jump
on, the
down and you
pit. Yeah,
shoot at
come
people.
on. I mean, yeah, so, while you look that up, I mean, obviously,
Was it the
it's a
pit?
revenue share, so it's not the people creating these games aren't getting the entire revenue, and obviously the folks over at Roblox are pocketing a very fair, hefty sum from these games. So obviously, the more viral games that pop up, like if another Dress to Impress comes up or something like that, then obviously they're just going to continue to get a pretty good revenue flow, which they already still do. But Roblox is in a pretty tough place right now.
Okay.
So obviously, there's a lot of factors in here. They're in a lot of controversies right now. It's a breeding ground for
So
a lot of controversy, which we don't really need to go too deep into that. And plus, it's other initiatives that are kind of creepy that the CEO just seems
Yeah.
obsessed with trying to do.
yeah, trying to fix the world.
Uh,
Um,
it's not they're not in a great place, but to just double down and start blaming the players, the fans, the creators for not creating the next viral hit. Well, why does your revenue need to stem from the success of your players being creative? Why can't you, billion-dollar company, do some lifting here and create something that players want to come back for? Because obviously these games do well and bring people in and people will stick around and play them, but then that fades over time.
um, it is the pit that was stolen from Roblox, and it's basically like a big circle, and you jump down there and you take guns or whatever, and you just fight. But in my quick research there, Kirby, do you know? Can you guess how much the top 10 creators of Roblox make a year? Throw
Hmm.
out a number.
In
Well,
1 year?
wait. Okay.
Um,
How about this? How about this?
I
How about
would
this?
like
Let's go backwards. How about the top
okay.
1,000 creators? What do you think they average a year? 1,000 people average a year on Roblox.
Definitely, I wouldn't say 100K.
What would you say?
I wouldn't say 100K at all. I would say maybe like 20.
Okay. What do you think, Cervantes? Any guesses?
I'm gonna go with a crazy number and say at least 2 milli,
Okay.
knowing what the revenue looks like, or having a vague idea of what the revenue looks like, but forgetting all numbers I've heard about analytics beforehand.
So, okay. The top 1,000 creators in Roblox average 820,000 a year.
Kirby wins by Price's Right rules.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's technically closest. Okay, so what do you think the top 100 creators of Roblox make a year?
I'm gonna double down on that 2 milli.
Uh, oh, now that's like crazy. Maybe
And now
like
Kirby's gonna say 2 million and $1.
well, I was actually gonna say maybe at that point, like closer to like 5.
Yeah, you actually are close. The top 100 creators average 6 million a year.
Oh my god, that's so
So,
great.
now with that in mind, what do you think the top 10 make or average a year?
Oh,
In Roblox games, by the way.
$1 billion.
Okay, well, there's no way you're going to be close.
No,
8.
8.
No, so the top 10 creators average 30, basically 34 million a year
Whoa,
Wow.
off Roblox. So,
no way.
now with
But
that in mind,
that's still the top 10.
yeah, no, that's
So
top 10. That's crazy to get to. But with that in mind,
the
does that
top
change your
creator,
mind on is it really can you blame the fans for that? Because obviously they're making good money doing this, and are they not being creative enough?
mm,
Well, according to Roblox, they're not.
Exactly.
they're not contracted, are they?
No, it's obvious. Well, no, but I mean they are obviously
It's
bringing revenue
do
for the game
you
and themselves.
yeah. Do you believe it as like a moral obligation for them to try harder to since Roblox does technically give them a platform to make that large sum, like almost maybe moral obligation isn't the word, but like a unwritten like I should put forth the effort to like try harder.
I would,
from
you know,
the creators.
if I was pulling in $34 million a year making like Roblox games, I think I would put in a lot of effort personally. Like I would be like,
Yeah.
I gotta have that next idea. What else can I possibly do here?
Well, surely they don't have to work or get a job
No,
at
absolutely
all.
not. Not with that kind of
Like,
money.
Well, I
so
mean,
what
what
are
if?
they like,
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, what else are they doing with their time to
Right.
like
Traveling the world with that money. If I had
Yeah, I mean,
$34 million
just
in general, I
coast.
don't think I would ever work again. Like if I just made that in a single year, I think it'd just be done.
Yeah, I mean, just coast on that. Like
Hmm.
you've
maybe
already
that's the
made your
mindset
money.
and why it's not getting
Yeah.
made. Like why they're not making more
Sounds like those
games.
top 100 need to step up, take that space.
Yeah, they're not gonna be
I'm
able to make
right.
their dating app if they can't get their revenue.
Right, exactly. Um, with that said, Fortnite obviously pays creators now too. Can you guess in comparison how much? Let's say, like the top 10 on their end.
Oh, for
It's gonna
sure,
be
probably not as much.
significantly less because Roblox is in the meta universe
Yeah.
where Fortnite is not. Granted, Fortnite's still a powerhouse, but not. They don't have that metaverse money.
Fortnite top 10 is hovering around 10 million each. So about half. That's not bad. Well, no, no, never mind. No, that was 34 for Roblox. So they're closer to like the top 100 for the top 10 in Fortnite. But Epic paid out $352 million to creators last year. And
Now, is that just creators in general who people
I think
plug in a
so.
code to buy V-Bucks?
I don't think so. I think that's specifically for their creator program, like for like who's making maps and stuff like that. I know the person that made the pit obviously
Creative
made really good
program.
money. Yeah, yeah.
Because you gotta remember
There's
they're doing
difference.
a revenue share with people.
Yeah.
Like, if Tim the Tatman puts out his code,
Yeah, I have my
if
code
kids
and
go and
yeah.
use his code
Use
to
code
if
Betrigan
someone goes
when
use
you buy
Betrigan's
Fortnite skin.
code to buy $10,000 worth of V-Bucks,
Yeah. Don't tell your
that Saudi
parents.
prince really needs to get all those skins, so he plugs in code Betrigan. Betrigan gets a revenue split, and
Thank you.
so does Epic.
Thank you.
So that's for creator revenue split. But for creative, that's a whole different
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Epic's paying them a lot. I think it was a crazy amount of like what Epic pulls in a year for Fortnite they're paying out to creators. I want to say it's like I really should look this up before speaking, but I want to say it was like 40% of their like total revenue is being paid out to maybe it's a way less than that, but it was a crazy high number. Maybe it's like 20%, but that's still a lot to be paying out to. It is 40%. I was right. I guessed.
That's not a bad revenue split.
No, 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 absolutely not. Well, I mean, it
40%?
kind of is for like how much
Kind
money
of is if you
Epic
make
is.
something
Yeah,
really critical.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. That's a crazy
And
amount
for
though.
small people, that's pretty cool. For big people, like for top people,
Yeah,
obviously, those are the people that are more likely going to go and do, like a Daisy, Arma 3 to their own client situation type
Mhm.
of thing.
mm-hmm. Yep, yep. But speaking of Fortnite, they showed their new trailer actually today, the day we are recording this. So if you are watching, that is August 16th, and this is going to be out sometime in the next week.
We
Um,
should put disclaimers at the beginning of the episodes
just,
about when we recorded
yeah, yeah.
these.
Just put it in the description. But Fortnite showed off the new trailer. It is very. I don't even know if it's like technically it is gaming themed, but I don't know if that's like it's like some kind of hacking theme to it or whatever. But it looks like there's like cartridges that fall from the sky and they create different gaming environments like fighting, like Unreal Tournament type stuff. And it literally like changes how the game plays at that moment depending on where you are.
It's called
Um,
Override, by the way.
yeah, the season is called Override. We saw obviously Sonic. We saw Crash, Spyro. Sora was not in the trailer, but Sora is on the key art, which is interesting. But we
Mhm.
saw Joker from Persona, and who knows who else we'll see. 99 Nights of Roblox game actually that is
There's
coming.
Tetris,
Fortnite, yeah,
like, Easter
yeah,
eggs.
yeah. There's
It's
Tetris stuff.
crazy. It's very exciting.
Pac-Man Island. We saw Mega Man also. I can't believe I just forgot that, but Mega Man's in it. And you can get his, blaster. Yeah, it looks like there's gonna be a lot to it. I'm very
Spyro
excited.
as well as a sidekick.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm very, very excited as a gamer. As much as like I don't think like Epic is a great company, I think this season will be pretty cool to experience being, very nostalgia bait
There's
for
also a cyberpunk Easter egg on a billboard
I
as
saw there's
well.
V.
On
Yeah.
a billboard
Which
in the background.
we had female V before, now it looks like we're getting male
Male
V.
V.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um so definitely some really cool stuff there. Obviously
Oh,
there's
and
other
Sonic
characters.
appears to be in the battle pass, which is very cool.
Yes. Yeah. We also saw other Sonic characters, other Mega Man characters. So we even saw like Morgana from Persona. So they're really like taking these series and adding quite a bit to them, or adding from them. And who knows what else we'll see throughout the season in the shop. Obviously they're gonna keep some collabs secret. If it's really, they're sticking with the gaming theme, I think we could see some pretty cool stuff. Especially with like I know they have some of their generic characters in there, but like we talked about how like the cartridges fell from the sky in the trailer or whatever. It kind of changed
Mhm.
it into a fighting game in one little area.
Mhm.
Um, it was kind of a generic fighting game character. Kind of looked a little like Mai, in a way. But
Yeah, it's like
I
their own take on a
yeah,
fighting game
but I
character. It's
wonder.
kind of cute with like the way that they
No,
presented it.
absolutely, but I do wonder if that's going to lead into like maybe we see, Tekken or
Another collab.
yeah, some kind of collab that is going
Hmm.
to play more into that down the road, but they're kind of holding on to it for the shop. I think it's pretty cool. I know Cervantes, you haven't watched the trailer yet, right?
I have not.
Yeah,
My interest in Fortnite is very
yeah.
minimal.
Well, I haven't played in
Like
like
you
over
said,
a year.
I think Epic's not a great company.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tim Sweeney is an absolute
Yeah.
hack.
Yep. Yep.
I understand the appeal. I understand the appeal. I understand it's not a bad game,
Mm-hmm.
and I fully admit it's not a bad game. It really isn't. Are there other things that are better? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this thing trying to go in really hard, trying to encourage people to spend as much money as humanly possible just on cosmetics?
Yes.
100%. That's how live service works. That's how every live
I don't
service
even know
works.
if I do think that is how live service games work. Obviously, they want you to buy the skins. That's going to be what keeps the game going. I think when
And getting people to play every day, getting asses in the seats every day. You need to get
right,
a daily retention showing so that way you
right,
can
right.
keep the investors happy.
I think like Smite won. I think uh, it was like either 1 million or $2 million a month went into the game just from like employees keeping the servers up, keeping full time people going the whole time. So obviously you can only imagine like what Fortnite costs to maintain. So obviously, again, the point is to sell skins. They want you to buy things to keep that going. But obviously, they also want their share of the money too. You can't just keep going back into the game, or else it's going to be considered a flop. And that's when games kind of shut down. But I think Epic has gotten really bad about it recently. It feels like there's a collab almost every week, some new thing that they're trying to push onto you and sell. And obviously, that's the point of this. Like a lot of people thought that the gaming legends will be in the battle pass, and it looks like it's mostly generic characters with Sonic kind of being in the battle pass, possibly. Where they all the teases were based on Persona and all these other series. So people were like, "Oh, this battle pass is gonna be really good," and then none of them seem to be in the battle pass, obviously, so they can sell them and make more money. It's just interesting. Yeah, I do think that they are really trying to push all these collabs and trying to make as much money as possible. I think they kind of know that Fortnite's kind of run its course. It's still obviously very popular, but I think they know if they let out on these collabs that it's just going to free fall. I think that's kind of what's keeping it going.
Yeah, the thing of collabs, it's an easy way for it to seem like something fresh is being injected without
Hmm.
anything fresh really being injected, and potentially bringing in fans of whatever the collab are on board. I mean, at this point, everyone already knows what Fortnite is. Nothing's gonna kill Fortnite other
Yeah,
than Fortnite.
right.
It's as simple as that. It's here to stay. As much to a lot of people's, begrudgingly wanting it to go away. It's not. Um, Collabs aren't a bad thing,
People just want to see their favorite
but
characters.
and if that's gonna be the only thing keeping it afloat for a while, then cool, man.
If the only thing keeping your game up is the collaborations, where do you stand without those, you
Well,
know? So
what else does Epic have? Obviously, they have Unreal Engine, but game-wise, they haven't hit that lightning in a bottle
Right.
again. So
Mhm.
they kind of have to rely on Fortnite. Fortnite brings in, I think it's over 1 billion a year. So obviously it's still bringing money, but they're kind of relying on that. If Fortnite ever really did just go downhill or like drop off completely, I don't
It'd be like
know
the
what they would do.
stock market crash in 2008 for them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. um, yeah, I mean, obviously Unreal Engine is kind of in most games now, but you could probably kind of go off that, kind of like Valve just goes off Steam mostly. They don't really make games too often. They kind of have deadlock right now, but they can go a while, obviously without selling a game anymore. So maybe Epic could do the same with Unreal Engine, probably, but they wouldn't be bringing in as much money, I don't think. Fortnite,
I
I
would
think,
argue
really keeps
Valve
them.
did something more recently with Counter Strike Go to
Yeah,
CS2.
yeah. I
More
mean,
recent. That
they're
was a
definitely
more
coming
recent
back.
heavy
Yeah,
lift
yeah.
than
They are
recent
releasing
Fortnite's
software
done.
again. But for a while they weren't. It was like it was a while they weren't releasing anything, and they didn't have to. Steam was bringing, all they needed. But money makes the world go round. People are going to chase that more, and they're going to, take risks, which it seemed like they weren't going to for a while, and now they're back to releasing games. Good for them. Proud. Valve makes good games. They don't really release any games unless they're good. Like they'll literally just toss out whatever if it's
They
not.
they have an extremely high.
Yeah.
If you go watch any dev diaries for any like behind the scenes stuff in the last
Hmm.
several years, they do have active developers
Yeah.
constantly
Always
working on
working on something.
projects and pitching things.
Yep.
And like I think Alex was the last thing of like recent years that like the guy that was behind Alex had pitched and worked on like a ton of other stuff that never saw the light of day.
Hmm.
And Alex felt like something that was gonna follow suit and it came out.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. No, they're very particular. If like something could be like 90%
High bar,
done.
very high bar.
Yeah, and if it's not like an 8 or above game in their eyes, they're just gonna shut it down. Doesn't matter to them. They're willing to kind of just toss it out. They don't want to risk their brand, really. Which is you don't really see that too often. I think Rockstar is kind of the same. I Unless they're doing like, those ports. They have those 3 ports that kind of the GTA collection or whatever that kind of had a mess. But that wasn't really Rockstar themselves. Except
The HD collection was just a mobile
yeah.
port.
Yeah, yeah, that was kind of a big mess. But like when it's a new Rockstar release themselves, I feel like they're very like always quality.
Home run.
Yeah, yeah. They know exactly, they're not gonna.
Especially at that scale,
Yeah.
that is wild.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 was amazing. I think GTA 6 is gonna be amazing. I don't they waited what, 13 years now? Something like that since GTA
3
5.
generations of GTA
Yeah,
5.
yeah. So I have no concerns about the game, I believe that it's just gonna come out and be as great as everybody thinks it is. I think Rockstar and Valve are kind of the 2 companies where it's like, yeah, you're gonna get something quality. But anyways, speaking of Fortnite gaming season, we talked about Sora, and D23 was this weekend, which brought new news for Kingdom Hearts 4. One being our first real world reveal, which is Coco. Looks gorgeous, looks just like the movie, It's gonna be a very pretty world.
Mhm.
And then we also saw in another trailer that you can play as Mickey, you can play as Donald, and you can play as Goofy, which is crazy because that hasn't really. You can play with Mickey a little bit in like 2, but not really too often that you see this. Very exciting. Did you guys watch the trailer?
I saw some highlights.
Oh, you saw some highlights. Oh my
I
god.
saw highlight.
Well, Cervantes, I'm glad you saw highlights because I have a surprise for
I
you.
saw the Coco World, I saw Mickey gameplay, I saw Donald and Goofy, all cool stuff. But do we want when do we want to get into character design?
Um, well, first. This is
Yeah,
something I've
that's
been
why I
waiting
said
to talk to
I'm
you
not
about.
gonna jump yet. I'm not gonna jump yet.
First, I have to talk to you about something because there is speculation. There is a scene where Donald and Goofy kind of are shown in like almost like a silhouette, like they're see-through, like ghost almost looking. And Sora looks at them, and the people that Sora is with is like, "What do you see, Sora?" And then Sora passes out. People are speculating that this could be very close to Chain of Memories 2, with him trying
Hmm.
to kind of regain his memories of his friends. Because it seems like he's older now, he's kind of in this other world. He doesn't really mention anybody. He seems to have a whole new cast on his side of things. We obviously know he's not
Feet
with
are
the others.
regular size.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
No
exactly.
punch, no
Exactly.
punches,
Maybe
dude.
that's just a side effect of where he's like in another dimension or universe or something. Like
Mm.
they're looking for him on his side. He obviously, well, no, I can't say obviously,
And did
but
you
it
play the
doesn't seem
original
like his.
game?
Yeah, yeah, I loved it.
Okay, didn't that end with them trying to figure out where Sora was
Yeah,
after
and that's
3?
when they introduced a new it was like a light at the time. Obviously, they didn't have the character design, so it was like a ball of light. But I think that's the woman that Sora is with in the trailer. Possibly, I would have to go back and listen to her voice compared to maybe they don't even have the same voice actor, so it doesn't matter, But I'd have to go back. It's been a long time since that came out now, but
Everything's gonna be different by
I
the
was gonna
time
say,
launch
I was
happens.
gonna say, well, speaking of that, actually, they have said it's not an 80% thing or 80% sure thing. It's not a 90% sure thing. They said it's 100% sure thing that the game will be out in 2027. They said they are very far along, and I mean, it looks like it. It looks like the game's ready to just drop. I think that they're just going to kind of push the next year to show off the different worlds. Every world reveal is going to be some kind of hype trailer for people. So I think it's gonna be really good, really vicious. Is that the right word? Marketing cycle, where you're gonna see it at like every convention, every game show, kind of
I
thing.
watched the highlights without sound on. Did they get James Woods back as Hades? Or is he dead?
I don't think so. Oh my god.
I don't think James Woods
I don't
this
think
is what
he
I get for
is.
not watching it with sound
Yeah,
on.
I didn't
Because I
really.
saw Hades, which means, hey, Hercules World is just the most unstoppable world for all of Kingdom
Yeah,
Hearts.
I like how like Sora's missing, and the first thing like Donald and Goofy do is go to like Hades, and it's like, is he here? And Hades like, nope, sorry, he's not here. There's other afterlives out there. No, he's in Coco. But no, so it's something I need to say is I'm really bad at like noticing voice actors like at all, like completely. Like I get so like I don't know what's wrong with me, but like I literally just picture the character and how they sound, and like I can't be like, oh, I know that voice is so and so. Like I'm really really bad at that.
Voice of Hades in everything Hercules ever. He is the most
I don't.
accessible actor, apparently, because he was in the TV show.
Hmm.
He was in every Kingdom Hearts game. He is the only actor for Hercules Hades ever,
Yeah, yeah.
which is insane that he is single-handedly carrying everything having to do with Hercules on his back
He is
right
good.
now.
I I wonder what other worlds we could see. People think that we could possibly be getting elemental because and like Sora has a Keyblade that's like half fire, half water. So maybe
Mhm.
elemental, but it could also be like Moana. I think
I'm
those are
thinking
both
Moana.
pretty
Well, I
locked.
think we'll definitely see Moana.
I think so too. Absolutely. It
Moana's a
it came out
sure
like
because
at the same time
both
as
characters
3.
from it can fight.
Yeah, yeah. And like the whole story, returning the heart, like that is literally Kingdom Hearts. Um so I think Moana is like easily locked. I think we could see like Zootopia. I think that's also really popular enough, to be kind of
Zootopia would
in
be fun.
there. I think we obviously see Frozen again with them pushing Frozen 3 now.
Are we
Um,
gonna see Star Wars?
that's a good question.
God, that'll
So,
be such a it's gonna be such a mess.
so they said that there was a world they wanted to put in since Kingdom Hearts 3, but they couldn't at the time. So people are like, "Oh, it's either Star Wars or Cars." Um,
Didn't I say what it was?
no,
Uh,
they didn't say what it was.
and maybe we'll finally be done with pirates.
Disney just announced that they're trying to do a new Pirates with Johnny Depp,
Oh,
so I
I
don't think
guess we're
so.
gonna see the third not Jack Sparrow that they can possibly get.
Yeah, yeah. Um, we're gonna return to that topic in a moment because you wanted to talk about the design and their small feet because you have a thing for feet and big feet, and you want to see the giant feet of the Disney characters.
I mean, like, obviously, the design, as the engines change and improve, we're going to see the designs for these characters
Yeah.
change to match whatever is currently happening. So, like, in a way, though, we have kind of lost the identity of these characters, and I do
No,
agree with those
yeah.
complaints because those complaints are very far and wide that we have kind of lost the identity. I saw a post earlier saying that Sora just looks like a background Final Fantasy
Yeah,
character
that he
now,
does.
and
Well,
Aww.
I kind of agree with that.
no, I don't disagree, but I do want to say like this is another universe. Maybe that is playing into it. You know, he kind of changes as he goes into different worlds, anyways. So maybe that's kind of playing more into
What
it.
did he look like in the
Or
Coco world?
I don't know. I have to go back and look. But or maybe he was just born with really big feet, and as he got older, he kind of grew into them. And he was just born with those like size shoes. That's all they had on his island, on Destiny Islands. That's all they had was like size like 13 feet.
Remember when Sora had a mom for 5 seconds and then she was
Yeah,
never
and then
mentioned
she's
ever
dead.
again?
He like literally sneaks out, leaves her, sneaks out of his
Yeah,
room,
and
and then
literally as he's leaving his room on
yeah,
Destiny Island or whatever it's called, Sora, dinner's ready. That is
yeah.
never brought up again.
No, she's dead.
That's
She's
horrible.
literally dead. That world got
Like,
wiped
well,
out.
he's trying to like find all these other people. Doesn't go back for mom ever. There was a
He doesn't
point
need
where
to.
he had peace in his life, and
Look,
he still never went back.
we don't know the home situation. Maybe she was like really abusive. You know,
They went
maybe.
back to Destiny. End of Dream Drop.
Oh,
Aren't they back on Destiny Island?
yeah, but I don't think that's a real one because they have
Oh
like
man.
they create like almost like images of like stuff that's been wiped out. Um, I don't know. I don't know.
Or maybe it's the end of 3.
Ooh.
I don't remember. Dude, everything's such a
I'm
mess.
gonna
Man,
be replaying them all soon, anyways. So we'll
I
see.
don't think you're supposed to think about it for more than 5 seconds
No,
because
no, no, no,
otherwise
no, no.
Tetsuya
Of course you
Kingdom
are.
Hearts is going to be mad at you.
I love Kingdom Hearts. Anyways, I can't wait to replay them all. I'm gonna replay them all before 4 comes out, and literally all of them. I have them all. I have the DS. I have the 3DS. I'll get out the originals. But
Apparently that Steam port's kind of a mess, so pull out the PS4.
yeah. Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming to PC. They announced in the trailer. Which usually we've had to wait for them. But 4 is coming straight to PC same day, which is great. We don't see that.
Squeenix is growing up.
I know.
Well,
If only
Squeenix did
Rockstar
drop
could.
Xbox and PS4 at the same time.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
free. So, which I remember the memes of like, oh, Xbox players getting their first
Kingdom Hearts.
foray
I
into
know.
Kingdom Hearts.
I don't.
And being
Yeah, I
like,
don't think the others were
who the
even
hell
on at the
are half
time.
these people?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. So 4 is going to be on PC day 1. If Rockstar could get the same notice, I don't know, but it is what it is.
I think it's too late for that one, unfortunately. The
Yeah,
Sony money is too powerful.
Yeah, I agree. We'll wait a year for it. But I want to go backwards because you mentioned Jack Sparrow. So Dreamlight Valley, if you don't know, Dreamlight Valley is a Disney, almost like Animal Crossing. You get the different characters. You can make them move into your town. You plant, you cook. You cook with Ratatouille for the town. It's very very good. It actually has a really good story. There is some stuff I really like about Dreamlight Valley, and that is actually I think they do the characters really well, including that it is almost like they are plucked out of their movies. So like there is a plot line with Frozen characters, I'm not going to get too spoily into it, but it almost feels like it's a continuation of their story from like Frozen 1 and 2. And it's done really, really well. The characters are really well written. It makes so much sense. Like it almost feels like I don't know. It really feels like a really good continuation
It
of
feels
those
canon.
movies. Yeah, exactly. It feels canon. And so that's what I really liked about Dreamlight Valley. I think the first week it came out, I think I put like I want to say like 40, 50 hours into it, like in a week. Like it was really bad. Like there was a point where I was just like playing the game and I look at like it doesn't happen too often. It doesn't happen. And all of a sudden, like next thing I know, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh my god, like I need to go to bed. Very addicting game. But D23, along with Kingdom Hearts 4, they announced new stuff for Dreamlight Valley. One of those is the expansion coming in October. Maybe more news is in October, but it's going to be. We've had Little Mermaid characters in it already. We've had Peter Pan, but we're going to be able to go into the water now, where they kind of came to us out of the water, with Ursula and all that. But we're going deep diving into it. We're going underwater now, and the trailer ends with Captain Jack Sparrow, which would be the first time we've really seen like a live action character. Um, Everything else has been like the animated stuff, you know.
Hmm.
But that wasn't it. There is another collab coming to Dreamlight Valley, which is more clothing or whatever, but it's very interesting because it is Hannah Montana and Lizzie McGuire. Thing. And I think that's really interesting. That it feels kind of really out there. Like obviously those shows, a while back. Most Disney stuff,
Hmm.
it was a while back or whatever. But very interesting that it seems like they're kind of going more the live action direction now and keep adding to it. I thought Kirby would be excited about Hannah Montana and Lizzie McGuire.
I actually didn't watch Lizzie McGuire growing up, but I did love Hannah Montana, so that is super, super exciting.
Interesting. Camp Rock 3 just came out.
I did see that. I was very confused,
um,
quite literally.
I thought it was way further out, and I was like on Disney Plus this morning, and I was like, oh, it's apparently like out, but I never watched the first or second one. Oops.
Really? That
Yeah.
surprises me,
Yeah,
actually.
look at that. See, I can surprise
Can
you.
we have a
Movie night
can we
to watch Camp Rock.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can do that.
yeah.
You know what else I haven't also watched is the High School Musical movies.
Really? That
Yeah,
surprises me too. Oh my god. I'm learning so much about you.
thank you. Cervantes, have you seen High School Musical and Camp Rock?
I've not. I've not.
Oh,
That does
Only
not surprise me about Cervantes.
I'm not a musical guy.
it surprises me or you about
My
me.
favorite musical act is Blue Man Group. How about that one?
That's pretty cool.
That doesn't
That
surprise me
counts.
either.
That counts. What? Wait, really? Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
She's got you pegged.
That's not very
Damn.
surprising to me. I wouldn't say I haven't pegged, but, like,
She
of
doesn't know
the
me
things
apparently,
you
but
could have told me, like, that's not one of the things that would have been like, "Really?"
she
to
sees
me.
you as
You look at me like,
one-dimensional.
oh yeah, he's definitely a Blue Man Group
Yeah.
Like,
enjoyer.
he
All right.
definitely like, it's something that makes sense for sure, like
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, anyways, Dreamlight Valley getting big updates. I'm happy the game is still going on. Like I said, I haven't played it in a while, but I highly recommend it if you are a Disney fan. Like I said, I think the characters are done really, really well. And it's surprisingly like meaty with the story stuff and like how you help these characters and get them to move in, and I think it's really well done. Um Highly recommend. Anyways, so our next topic is kind of doesn't really flow too well, but class actions against Sony, if you want to talk about Cervantes.
Well, we're going from content rich to the attempt at making something content poor.
Yeah, there you go.
Because there's class actions against Sony. There's already a few countries actually going in other organizations making class actions against Sony. The Dutch are the most recent ones to do it. And the class actions are mostly just regarding the killing of physical media coming up, as well as just Sony's kind of more shady business practices with how they run their stores and other things like that, as well as just how harshly they limit what countries can actually participate with Sony products, because we already have a very large list of countries that cannot register Sony accounts, therefore they cannot actually play live service Sony games. And we're even seeing that now with single player games as well, where people in those countries are being required to make a PSN account for a single player game, and that's almost
Yeah, that's
robbery
weird.
in a lot of cases. So the
And, like,
Dutch are the most
offline
recent.
games as well.
Yeah, so it makes no sense, but Sony is trying really hard to just have this kind of like, it's almost like they're taking like the meta mindset of everything needs to be accounted for. Everyone
Hmm.
needs an account. We need verification of everything, and it's really weird. We have organizations like Stop Killing Games and Does It Play openly endorsing people participate in these where applicable. They did say if you're not Dutch, well, don't worry, there's going to be more coming in the future. And again, there are other countries and other organizations that are having their own separate class action. So Sony's going to be a little bit busy with all their bullshit.
Oh,
But hey,
absolutely.
good news for Wolverine fans, because it will launch with physical discs.
So I think they said that what physical disc isn't until 2028.
The physical disc Kill is not until 2028, I
That's what I
believe.
thought. So I would assume anything
There's
before
still
that is kind of
time.
safe. No,
Mhm.
there is.
And yeah, well, I mean, kind of safe is still subjective because I mean, Sony could easily make the call of, hey, no more physical media in general. But obviously, Insomniac is their own body
Mm-hmm.
and are choosing to keep goodwill. I mean, I feel like it's an easy place for any Sony first party developer to say, I see the backlash right now. Let me play the good side.
Yeah.
And Insomniac is clearly choosing, hey, we don't want to join the backlash side.
Right. Right. I mean, Sony themselves said they knew they would get the backlash for it. They knew it was coming. I don't really see them changing their mind unless the court really forces them to. But I don't know if they
Well, they've
could.
already been saying that they see the backlash, but the numbers speak for themselves. They
Right.
have officially responded,
Yeah.
and the numbers speak for themselves. People,
But
the digital only people do heavily outweigh the physical salespeople.
could a court
Mhm.
really even do anything about this? Can you force a
If
company to be like, hey, you have to keep making physical? Sorry. I don't think you can.
if if there's something there, if there's something there that
Probably not.
says something about digital ownership
Yeah.
and all this other things, because clearly the class actions were set up and do exist. So clearly there is
Right.
something there,
Well,
but depends on what can really be settled in a court of law.
I was gonna say I could assume that you could change how digital licenses work or something like that, but
Can you
I
do it
don't know.
retroactively? I don't know. We are already seeing instances of like Aliens Fireteam Elite just got shut down for the Switch.
Hmm.
And for the however many people are still there playing it,
Right.
they're now out the game that they may have still been playing. They can't get refunds.
Hmm.
And granted, they knew it was coming, but now that we're actually starting to finally see these instances happening more and more frequently, you know, is that digital ownership that again, it can just go away at any moment.
You know,
Call of
this
Duty can get yoinked away from you at any moment.
yeah, this is the problem with going like really online only games. You know, this is why when Cliffy B comes back, and he's not doing those online games like he said, he's going to create a great single player experience. You're going to be able to play those with your grandkids like 20 years from now. Thanks, Cliffy B. He's going to sponsor the podcast someday, so we'll just keep throwing him in here.
He put a chainsaw on the gun. Do it
Yeah,
again, man. Put
yeah.
another chainsaw on another gun.
But I don't know, what can you do besides a chainsaw? They've done swords. You can't do that again. Put a
I
gun on
mean,
a gun. Gun on a gun.
the French put swords on a gun.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying. Yeah, yeah.
we
Put a
already have
gun on a
bayonets,
gun.
man.
Put a pistol on a shotgun, and then that's it.
I'm sure
That's all you
someone's
need.
done it somewhere.
They
But
put
Cliffy
they
B, these ideas are free.
they put a rocket launcher on like a shotgun. We don't need that. We need like a pistol on a shotgun. That's my $1 million idea. Take it, Cliffy B. That one's for you.
I like it.
Thank you.
Cliffy B.
Yeah. Cervantes. This next one is, Netflix shutting down Night School. You did Oxenfree.
Night School gave us Oxenfree and Oxenfree 2. Very commercially successful games were picked up by Netflix. They did create another game, which is a tie-in for it might have been Stranger Things. I don't remember what it
Oh, was that
was.
like
It
the
was a
digital,
weird.
or was that like there was a
It looked
Stranger
like a.
Things game that was like top down, like retro.
It was a retro style game, so it could have
It
been
could
the
have been Stranger Things.
tie-in
I
with
did play that. That was actually really
like
good. It
so
wasn't
they
like,
did make that.
I guess I can't say it was amazing, but it was good. It wasn't bad.
And they
Um,
did just make another game in a new engine in Unreal. It did have stars in it from Netflix, such like Sadie Sink, and the game was heavily promoted across Netflix, across all of their programming. If you were watching Monday Night Raw, you definitely saw at least 3 ads for this game. They're still promoting it today, actually. And it's a horror experience that you play within the app, and you make all your decisions for the game in QTEs within the Netflix app, which is a really cool idea, but clearly it isn't being as commercially viable. I mean, when you already have your Netflix subscription, so how is this commercially viable to begin with? But clearly it's not hitting the metrics that Netflix is looking for, so they're going to be just outright shutting down Night School.
it's crazy because they did promote that game heavily, but I did actually see people talking about it on Twitter. Like I would scroll and I would say, see somebody say, "Hey, I just played this or that," like So I from what I could see, obviously they have the better numbers, but it looked like, people were playing it and enjoying it. So I don't know. It's kind of weird.
I mean, with Netflix trying this big foray into the gaming space, they are doing a good job on the publishing front, I feel like, because they are
Hmm.
making some games available
Hmm.
that through Netflix, which is really cool. But from the first party perspective, is shutting down a studio like Night School really the play when like you made them do things that were so vastly different from the thing that put them on the map and the thing that was the whole reason why you purchased them in the first place? Is this really the most commercially viable answer? I mean, clearly we're not the marketing people or
Right.
the financial people sitting in the boardroom making these decisions, but from an outside perspective and from a consumer perspective, yeah, the math ain't mathing.
I think we're getting ready for like another game crash. Obviously, we see layoffs every week. It's so boring to go over and over again. It's important, but it's literally nonstop now. And hopefully those devs find work quickly. It's not looking great. Every company's laying off almost weekly. You're hearing something. Ubisoft recently, which they used to be a giant with like Activision and EA. EA just got bought
And then
out,
they just
and you know,
you'll be having their seventh round of layoffs in the last like year.
right.
Seventh round of mass layoffs.
Mm-hmm.
EA just got bought by Saudi Arabia, which you would think would have been a good thing, but it turns out because of some financial loan stuff that got dropped back on EA, EA is going to need to salvage over
So
$800,000 in yearly revenue to be able to make it even for
there
this
is
this Saudi loan.
there is people out there that buy companies and they literally gut it. I think when EA, this announcement was bought, maybe it was before the announcement when EA was looking to sell, somebody was looking to buy them, or maybe it was somebody looking to buy Ubisoft, and they were looking to literally up microtransactions, get as much money as possible. If a series wasn't selling or, doing well, they would sell off that specific series. Almost like literally gutting these companies bit by bit, getting as much money as you can out of them and then kind of scrapping pieces and parts until the company is no longer there. Um, Kind of a shame. Activision kind of got bought by they got bought by Xbox, which is probably the best scenario because it looks like Ubisoft and EA are, as big as they once were, eighth generation of consoles. They were huge. They had their E3 press conferences. They all their games are doing really well. They were considered giants. So it's kind of weird that like a decade later, we're seeing these companies literally fall apart.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
definitely interesting to
Hmm.
see this happen in real time because we are the generation that grew up definitely into gaming like all the way
Yeah.
with the high tech like evolution we've seen
Hmm.
going from the 64 to what are we on the PS5 now in
Yeah.
such
It's
a
made huge
short
leaps.
time span, you
Yeah.
know? So just to see the progression
Hmm.
going up and down, it makes you wonder what's going to happen,
Yeah. Yeah.
after.
Gaming's relatively new for like how realistic we've made it look and all this stuff, but it is interesting to see these companies rise up so high and then just start to crumble.
They're crumbling,
Yeah.
exactly. Like you said, we're about to have a crash. It's 100% going to happen in one
Hmm.
year's time. Based on what's happening with the Saudi EA deal, I could see
Yeah.
EA being gone in a year's time. Same with
I don't.
smaller companies like Double Fine. Double Fine, unless a miracle happens, they're going to be gone.
Right, they used to be huge. Well, not really huge, but
If
they had pretty big
Ubisoft
fall.
can't turn the ship around, Ubisoft could very well be gone in a year's
Yeah.
time.
I mean, we see a lot of rises and falls. Obviously, Atari used to be huge. We don't really hear from them anymore. Midway got absorbed into Warner Brothers at one point. Sega used to be making their own consoles. These companies, sometimes these mistakes really cost them. And what Sega's obviously still big, but they were like one of the main players back then.
They were crippled by their own choices.
Yeah, exactly. And we see it with Activision, EA, Ubisoft. They used to be gigantic. Nobody thought like they would do any wrong. These were companies that were in talks to buy like anybody that was starting to fail off. I remember there was talks when Capcom was doing really bad. During eighth gen, where people were like thinking some of these companies could possibly buy out Capcom or some of these series. Like And now we see it reverse. Capcom's doing really, really, really well right now, and the companies that were once rumored to put their fingers in the pot just are falling apart. It's so interesting how volatile these can be and change up like that.
And which does also open the floor for more space for smaller companies to come and
Hmm.
start making footholds. And we're already seeing companies from the East, NetEase,
Hmm.
all these other Asian market companies coming over and slowly getting their fingers in the pie over here and actually being successful to varying
Right.
degrees. So we are going to be seeing, more companies rising up as these old monsters are finally being put to sleep.
Um, Even like some of these smaller companies, God, I'm trying to think of any, at the moment, but you know, Devolver, they kind of started off small. They've grown, not like super huge at the moment, but
Revolver
they
is a
do pretty
pretty
well. Yeah.
formidable one.
Um,
Remedy's
hmm
untouchable right now.
and then we saw
Housemarque's doing really well. We talked about them earlier.
who did who oh my god, now I can't think of their name, and they were huge just a couple of years ago, and they've kind of fallen apart too. They bought Tomb Raider, and then like Lord of the Rings and Embracer. They were doing really, really well, and
Embracer it can easily. I feel like a slight breeze is going to knock Embracer
well,
Group
yeah, I mean,
off.
it already has.
Yeah,
They bought all these companies, and now they're having to already sell them off to other, publishers, because it
didn't
just kind
IO
of
have to like
collapsed
buy
on them.
themselves back or something?
IO did.
Something like that. The Hitman guys.
Tomb Raider was sold to Amazon because they had Tomb Raider for a little bit, I believe, and then did they change their name to THQ? Is that who THQ now is? What were they Embracer?
THQ is THQ Nordic.
Right, but were
They
they
were
Embracer?
something else. I don't know if they were Embracer owned. I think they were a group that just
No, they
came
were they
and
were definitely Embracer owned, but I believe they are like I think Embracer is now just THQ. Um, is THQ Nordic is an Australian video game publisher based in Vienna and subsidiary of Embracer Group. Okay, so they're just a sub. Um,
Yeah, the THQ Nordic thing, I've seen some videos on it, and I don't remember much off the top of my head. I mean, they're doing well enough right now to keep floating, but
oh,
that's just it
absolutely.
is right now. THQ Nordic is just floating, which is probably why we're not seeing new Darksiders news anytime soon.
They said Darksiders, I think is planned 2028. They said that we'll see a lot more this next year. I think they said early
Okay.
2028. Yeah.
You know what? I'd
Um,
rather it take its time and be
yeah.
rushed and be shit
Oh,
than be
absolutely.
the death
They
nail.
they just had their game conference where they announced
Yeah,
like 12
absolutely.
games or something. So THQ is still, they're making stuff. They just had Reanimal, and they just announced DLC for it. They yeah, I think Wreckfest too. I think so. They have stuff going on. Darksiders, yeah, I think they said 2020 early. They said early 2028. They said 2027. We'll see a lot, pushed for it. So
Pretty good. That's some pretty good news.
yeah. With that said, I think
And
we have
speaking of new IPs, though,
new IPs. Um, I guess kind of new, but
a newer
w-
IP that's
yeah,
taken storm. A lot of
Gamescom.
different kinds of storms.
Yeah. Gamescom is coming up, and before that, Warner Brothers has officially announced Hogwarts Legacy 2. I think it was obvious it was coming. First game did massive numbers, and I think that I don't even think it's been like a really secret. But they did officially confirm it. They did say it's coming. Gamescom is around the corner. Maybe we see something really soon for it, but massive game. It was the only game. Well, first of all, it was the best-selling game of the year, it's the only game outside of Call of Duty and Rockstar games to do that in 15 years. Harry Potter's controversial. J.K. Rowling's controversial for obvious reasons. All people deserve equal rights, no matter across the board.
Mhm.
But that game did crazy numbers, crazy numbers. So obviously a
And
sequel is
that's
going to happen.
despite all the boycotts
I
and
was gonna say it had
everything.
so many boycotts and people were like
But then
streamer.
again, I mean, boycotts, I feel like boycotts in current year are so, especially digital only boycotts, are the
Well,
most ineffective thing because a lot of people are just jumping on board as a fad.
Yeah. I re-
Like something to just fall into the crowd and they're still actually doing the thing they're boycotting
yeah.
behind the scenes.
I think I own Hogwarts Legacy. I haven't played it, but I remember when the game came, I think I got it for free from like Humble Bundle or something.
I
But
got it for free from Epic.
maybe that's what it was. But
Never
that
touched it
game,
though.
people were like, when that game came out, people who were playing it on Twitch were getting like death threats and stuff. Like it was, you know, yeah.
It's a
Never
very
threat anybody
volatile IP. It's a very volatile IP.
for good reason. You know, J.K. Rowling
For
is
good
a
reason, absolutely
monster.
good
She's a
reasons.
monster. Sorry, anybody that's
Mhm.
watching that may be a fan of her, she's a monster. But
Mhm.
She's not a
Mhm.
good person. She's an
right,
idiot. But she's not working for the game studio.
but she is getting money from it. Is the problem there? She is getting a financial return there, and obviously people don't want that. You know, it's
I think
such a hard
she
topic because she obviously has more money than she's ever gonna use, and so it's kind of like she's still gonna be doing these things. It doesn't matter, but it does matter because we're talking about human rights issues. It's rough. It's rough. I think 2 is gonna sell gangbusters too, especially if it has the same kind of controversies. I think some people like that. Like if they see something controversial, that puts it more in their mind, which is it's such a hard thing to balance. I think that's why Hogwarts Legacy did so well, is because it had so many controversies behind it. People like were not stopped talking about it because of it being Harry Potter and J.K. Rowling.
I
So it
think
just
we're gonna
made
see that
people,
sequel effect, that kind
yeah,
of like what we saw with Elden Ring, where people who weren't necessarily fans of Dark Souls got heard all the hype carried
hmm
over and picked up Elden Ring, and Elden Ring had the commercial success it
yeah,
had because of that level of hype. I think we're gonna see the same thing from Hogwarts Legacy 1 into Hogwarts Legacy 2, where
hmm
people are gonna start, especially if we start being more analytical like with it,
yeah,
like what you're doing right now. You're being extremely analytical with it, with
hmm
talking about the sales and the success. So, and more people who maybe weren't on board or weren't paying as much attention back then
yeah,
are going to be paying more attention now
yeah. I think the
and seeing
sequel's gonna.
what's the big deal.
I think it's gonna do crazy numbers. I think it's gonna be really, really massive. If it's gonna outsell Call of Duty, I think Call of Duty's kind of fallen a bit. Um,
Do you know
people,
like open beta
it's
for Call of Duty is in like a week or two
no, I didn't know that,
from this
but
time of recording? I didn't know that either until like just this week.
people are like, I think they're kind of turning on the series. Like it used to be so popular, and like I think people are kind of getting a little bit over it. Obviously, GTA 6 is gonna be the highest selling game this year. But if Hogwarts Legacy 2 is like next year or 2028, I think I think it can make it. Again, I think it could absolutely be the best selling game of the year.
And there's a reason why Call of Duty's coming out sooner is to try and dodge GTA.
Yeah,
But I
absolutely.
think that last installment kind of left a sour note in a
A
lot of
lot of
people's
people. Yep.
mouths where it wasn't necessarily before. I mean, every year they obviously have a little bit of fall off. Sometimes they get a little bit of good favor back, but last year's definitely knocked off
hmm
a lot more than they anticipated.
No,
I mean, it's the
absolutely.
whole reason why Xbox is taking it off Game Pass,
The only thing I saw about the last Call of Duty game was like the giant boss battles.
which looks stupid.
Exactly, exactly. But that's all I saw. Like literally, I would see people like talk about it. I'd see videos pop up or whatever. That is the only thing I saw about that game. That is how much I think people were just done with it. Um, yeah, I don't know.
I saw an interesting statistic that J.K. Rowling does get more profit from a single ticket sale for Universal Studios than from an individual sale of
I believe
Hogwarts
that.
Legacy.
So Universal, obviously I live
I
close
think she gets
to
a
the
very
parks.
heavy
Yeah.
revenue
No,
share
she
from that,
does.
and
Steven Spielberg does too.
that's just for going into the park. That's not even just specifically for Hogwarts
I
World as a
think
part of Universal.
so.
Because you buy a ticket, you can just walk into the Hogwarts section, and then you can go and walk over to the Jason Bourne experience.
Actually, a really good show, by the way. Like really, really good.
I saw it in 23. It was actually a really good show.
Oh, it's really, really good. So she makes a low double-digit $1 million figure annually from Universal Studios. But that's not what I wanted to look.
Kirby, what's your favorite Universal Studios experience?
That's what it
I've
was.
never been, actually.
I'll take you.
I've never looked it up.
So I absolutely believe that she makes crazy money from Universal because obviously Universal is trying to compete with Disney. They are always trying to look for new IPs. J.K. Rowling actually passed on Disney for Harry Potter and went to Universal. And that was a whole thing that they really had to prove themselves to that they could do Harry Potter correctly for them. But um, there is one is true and one is a rumor that Steven Spielberg obviously helped get Universal Studios on the map. They had the Jaws ride, stuff like that. Obviously now they have ET, or they had ET, at the time, and Steven Spielberg was offered money to put his things in the park. Instead, he took I think it's like 2% annually is how much he gets from Universal Studios. But think about how much money like a theme park makes a year. Like he is making crazy money compared to what he would have made it from like a one-time
Universal ain't
thing.
cheap.
No, absolutely not.
And they still
Actually,
have some lingering Marvel stuff. Like they still have the Hulk coaster, which is
oh my
an
god,
incredible
we're getting to
coaster.
theme parks. I love theme parks so much. Because I actually like read all like the documents and
But then
stuff
you
like
go
that.
into dude, the
But
old cartoon section of Universal is scary. I feel like I'm gonna get mugged when I was walking through there.
What?
so
It's like the
so
most rundown, defunct part of a park because it's all Marvel. A lot of it's Marvel stuff that's not gonna ever get touched again. And then they have like their old cartoons, like Betty Bop and things like that.
yeah, so this plays into what I was kind of going to. Steven Spielberg, obviously ET. All the parks had ET. There is one one park left, and it's Orlando that has ET rides still. And rumors, I think it's rumors, I don't think it's confirmed, is that Steven Spielberg allowed them to take ET out of the other parks, but said if they take ET out of every park, that he will pull all his IDs from it.
Really?
Yeah, so that is why ET is still at Universal Orlando. Um, to a lot of people wondering why, a lot of people do wonder. They're like, this is such an old movie, like why is it still here? That is the rumor, is that if they take it out, that he will completely cut everything from them. Um,
Interesting.
yeah. But the other thing is the Marvel thing. So the reason why we don't really have Marvel stuff at Disney in Orlando, we have Guardians and stuff like that because that wasn't part of the original contract supposedly. But Universal signed kind of a thing saying, "Hey, we get Marvel, until we're done with it," kind of thing. So I think there's two things. One, I believe, is that they can't update the Marvel park, which is why it looks so old. They can, refurbish, whatever they want, but it can't change designs, if I remember correctly. So it's always going to kind of give that like, 90s animated kind of feel to it. Until they decide to get rid of it, which I don't think they ever will. But Simpsons, because they have Simpsons at
I love that
Universal,
ride.
they
Fucking love that ride.
the rights to Simpsons ends in 2027, I believe, or 2028 for Universal.
Mhm.
So it used to be Back to the Future, then it changed to Simpsons. But the rumors are that they may try to negotiate to keep Simpsons, but
What are they trying to replace it with?
by giving up Marvel to Disney.
Uh,
Um,
Disney would be able to absorb the Simpsons because they own Fox.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Disney owns Simpsons. So that is the rumors. Obviously, is that Universal is willing to give up Marvel to keep Simpsons. I don't know if that's going to be true. Disney or Universal kind of has Nintendo now, and they have Harry Potter. They're kind of building up their own thing there. But if you didn't know, the Marvel Land at Universal was at one point DC, or going to be DC, and then they struck the deal with Disney. So maybe they just, decide to sacrifice Marvel and just kind of retheme it to DC stuff. Again, maybe they work out something with Warner Brothers. I don't know. I don't know if that's even possible anymore. I don't know what else is going on there. I know Six Flags obviously has DC stuff, so maybe that interferes too much with them.
the biggest spider in existence just like flew by me. I have to step
Yeah,
away for a second. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Spider-Man. I love theme park stuff. I could go yap so much
Yeah.
about theme park stuff. It's
Yeah,
really good. It's
the
really
whole
good.
coaster and
Yeah.
Doomdrop. Oh, Doomdrop. I've loved that since I was a kid, and when I went
Hmm.
back in 23. Oh,
Yeah. I love Universal. I love Disney. I like going. I know people are like, oh, you know, adults shouldn't enjoy theme parks. No, shut up.
anyone who says that is just they
I know.
just don't
They're
have
just
anything
jealous they
going
can't
on.
go.
Yeah, well, I like to just think most people just don't have anything better going on if you're gonna
Yeah,
be
yeah,
that snippy about
yeah. I don't care. I have fun. I enjoy
enjoying
it. Right.
things. Like, let people enjoy things, man. If your whole thing
Literally.
is sitting on a
I'm back.
couch for 12 hours a day watching the news,
Yeah.
go for it, man. Pop
Yeah.
off. My thing is going out and
I was gonna say,
doing
let me enjoy
something.
theme parks. Let me enjoy rides. Let me do that stuff because I do enjoy it. Oh, she caught the spider. I see a picture. That's not a big spider. I've seen bigger.
That's gonna go on the podcast.
What do you mean? It's huge.
No.
But I think we've made our
It's
point
bigger than
about
a half
Hogwarts.
Yeah, yeah,
dollar.
yeah, yeah. Anyways, yeah.
We've definitely made our
We
point about Hogwarts because
we
we're
went off on
over
a
an hour
tangent.
now, so it's
Yeah, we went off on a tangent. That's kind of
yeah.
there are our main
Hogwarts
talking
2,
points.
whenever that comes out, it's gonna do gangbusters. There's
Yep,
no way it's not.
that is kind of the point. Anyways, I guess are you guys playing anything this week? What are you playing? What are you working on game wise?
I mean, more Marvel Rivals because that just never ends. But I'm also
Hmm.
gonna be checking out some Big Walk. Big Walk is phenomenal. Buy Big Walk.
Yeah, I have it. I'm
Those
planning on
guys
playing it.
are those guys are great. I've been playing extremely hard game. It is extremely hard, but it is so goofy and so
Nice.
silly. Is Duskbloods next week or a week after? I don't even
I
remember
don't
when
know. I
Duskbloods is.
should
I'll be
know.
playing Duskbloods beta.
I should know because of Bandai, but I don't. Shh.
Yeah, I'll
I
be
don't know.
playing the beta, so come over and watch
Um,
me play the beta whenever that weekend is.
yeah, I could do that too.
Ooh.
Um, yeah, I was supposed to play Big Walk, but my Big Walk partner decided to play with other people. So
No, we're still going to play together. I
okay, okay.
promise.
You know what game I'm really looking forward to though?
There's
Sorry, this is
plenty
like
to
I'm just
do.
yapping now. I'm really looking forward to the Blood of the Dawnwalker.
What's that?
It looks interesting. The first trailer, I saw the reveal for it. I wasn't too interested in it, but
The more I
then
see, the more I'm like,
subsequent stuff
yes,
looks way more interesting.
yeah, yeah,
So for Kirby, Blood of a Dawnwalker is a new game by a bunch of former Witcher devs
yeah,
and writers.
yep,
Because obviously Project Red is not always going to just be the same people, and people leave the project and
hmm,
other people join. So a lot of like the original people went and formed this other studio and they're working on this game. But functionally, it looks like The Witcher,
yeah,
but you are a vampire. Everything you do has a consequence.
hmm,
If you are doing more vampire things, people are going to be scared of you. If you're
hmm.
doing more just cool guy things, people are going to be really chill with you. So it's really cool. It functionally looks exactly like The Witcher.
But what I really like about the game is that they took everything about being like a vampire and made it work. Like, like being able to like walk up walls, stuff like that. Like I think it looks really, really cool. They really took like all vampire mythos and put it in a game, which you don't I mean, we've had vampire games, but not like to the extent that this really seems to be like you're a vampire. But yeah, so the plot of the game is that I think you have 30 days to save your family. And they talked about it recently to where not to worry about the time, like 30 days, in game or whatever. They said if you don't save your family, it's okay. It actually opens up a different story if you don't. So like if you like it's kind of like Breath of the Wild stuff like that where if you decide that, you know, 5 minutes into the game you want to turn around and try to save your family, you can. It's gonna be really freaking hard to do. Obviously fight the boss or whatever. But you could do that. Or you can, work on building your character up over those 30 days and try to save your family. But yeah, they said basically if you go over those 30 days, if you don't save your family, it just opens up like new storyline. Like the game doesn't just end. It's not like a game over. It just opens up a completely different, story path, which I think is really cool. My big problem with like I love like Dead Rising, for example, but I hate the time limit. I know some people are gonna hate me for that, but I hate being like feel like I'm rushed to get stuff done. I just like give me a sandbox where I can do, just enjoy my time. I'm gonna save my family in those 30 days, but I'm just saying, like I don't dislike I dislike time limits on games. I don't think they're fun.
I'm gonna save my family, but let me do it at my own
Yeah,
pace.
exactly, exactly. Let me, or I've seen some games where they have like a time limit where it's like every quest you complete moves the, time forward, which I kind of like that too. Not necessarily, being like, hey, you gotta get through this in actual like day night cycle. Like I've seen kind of work. I think Dead Rising 3 worked that way too, where it didn't really have like a time limit. Like it was like if you did quests, it moved the time along, which I liked. But anyways, very excited for that game. It's coming out very soon, so we'll probably be talking about it as it gets closer because I think it is what 3 weeks away. It's like the first week of September. Um,
September
I think it is
3rd.
September 3rd. Yes,
I'm
very
looking at
excited
the
for it.
release calendar. I
Yeah,
literally just pulled up a release calendar.
yeah, I'm really excited for that. Yeah.
What
Anyways,
about you, Kirby? What do you got going on?
yeah. What are you playing?
I've been playing a lot of Marvel Snap,
Nice. I haven't played that
but I
since the
don't have
beginning.
any plans this week
That's fine.
specifically.
I just want to know about what your gaming is or gaming hobbies
Yeah,
are. Yeah, yeah.
of course.
We yap about games.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little distracted now because I have 5 cats who are now also trying to get this spider that I have put in a cup
Oh,
left
it's
on the
okay.
floor,
It's okay.
waiting
Anyways,
for an
we're
adultier adult to
yeah.
deal with it.
It's okay. We'll end here. Good episode. We got a lot of talking done. I have to get ready anyways. I'm gonna make dinner or eat something at least before.
But before you make dinner, where can people find you when you're not making dinner?
I wasn't done. I
Yeah.
wasn't done. I gotta make dinner so then I can watch Lanterns, the new DC show, because I'm really excited for it. They showed the first 5 minutes, very exciting. Anyways, you can find me any site, every site out there. If you search Betrigan, you're gonna find me. I
X
think.
Oh,
hamster.
Yeah. Search Betrigan on any of your favorite sites.
farmersonly.com.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to meet a lot of farmers out there. I feel like that's the future.
Farmers, hit him up. He's single.
Thank you, farmersonly.com, for sponsoring this episode. Can we get sued for saying that? I don't know. Anyways,
No,
okay.
probably not.
Parody.
Parody. Smeltersonly.com. Anyways, yeah, where can we find you guys?
I can be found on TikTok. Not TikTok. I'm sorry. Well, I have a TikTok, but I don't use it for gaming purposes, so ignore that. I can be found on Twitter and Twitch at the Kirby Party.
The other T websites.
Yeah.
I'm
Technically,
on.
my TikTok is also yeah, the same. But yeah. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
You're
Yeah, you
fine.
can find me. I'm Cervantes over on twitch.tv, King Cervantes on Twitter, Cervantes _ on YouTube. Those are really the only places that matter.
Good. I'm
You were
glad.
so quick with it.
Yeah, we've been practicing our outros. It sounds like you haven't.
I No, I did, and
No, I'm
then
joking.
I said TikTok, and it
It
made
fried
a
your
whole
brain.
new train of thought,
Yeah, you're
like,
fine.
occur to me.
Anyways, yeah, so
Well,
that was
soon you
game
might find Betrigan on another podcast also.
soon.
Ooh,
Soon.
Ooh.
News
we'll
soon.
see.
News very soon. Anyways, yeah, that was GameYap, guys. The only podcast, only gaming podcast out there. Only the only one. That's it. Every other podcast is like true crime, I think.
Well, there's gonna be we got a horror one coming soon, so
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
It
can't
fits
wait for
kind of into that,
Halloween
right?
season for the Halloween gaming news we'll be,
Yeah.
ooh.
revealing.
I will
That's
be
gonna be
playing
very
so
fun.
many. I've literally been like buying horror games for like the last like year to like prepare
Mhm.
just for October.
Dude, I want Saw Genesis to be good.
Me too.
Me too, so bad.
I'm in their
I
Discord and I keep
signed up
seeing the
for the,
updates.
thing.
Yeah. Anyways, GameYap. GameYap.
Game, yep.
GameYap.
GameYap.